now that the store is ready, the middlewares are also ready. It's time to integrate this name the color application with our Redux dispatchers so that we can see everything in action. Okay, so let's head back to our code and look at the name the color .jsx. So name the color.jsx is already having an input with on change handler currently pointing to no operation, and this is also pointing to no operation, and there is a placeholder over here. All right, so now all we need to do is we will create a few callbacks. So we'll use callback. Okay, so these callbacks would be named as const handle fetch by hex is equal to use callback, and this is gonna take an input, and the event is obviously gonna have target and value so that we can get the value of the text box. Okay, and we are also gonna use another hook which is there inside React Redux, which is, so again, since we are working on the React component now, we are going to use React Redux, not the toolkit. Toolkit is the core which is having all the configurations and functions to create the store and all the store related things. But to integrate our React application with the Redux, we are going to use the package React Redux. And in the React Redux, we have a use dispatch hook, which is gonna give us the instance of the dispatch function, which will be used for dispatching the actions. Okay, so use dispatch is there. Do we have our actions over here? No. So let's do that. Import from /store/dispatchers. Let's bring it down, and this is gonna have fetch color by hex and also fetch color by RGB. Okay, now inside my use callback for handle fetch by hex, we are gonna have dispatch over here as a dependency, but we don't have any dispatch defined yet, so we'll create a constant dispatch which is gonna be use dispatch. All right, so now we have the dispatches instance, and all we need to do is dispatch fetch color by hex, and whatever the value that is there inside this will be the hex code. Okay, and we need to do the similar thing for const handle fetch by RGB, and this will be RGB, and whatever the value over here is going to be the RGB value. Now instead of the no op over here, we will change it to handle fetch by hex, and similarly we will have handle fetch by RGB. Alright, so let's see if this is actually triggering the API call or not. Okay, so let's go back to our screen, hit a refresh, and let's start typing in 00000. Okay, so you can see that there are several API calls going. I wanted the response for 00000, which is basically black. So you can see that the API is actually working fine. There is an API call going from the browser, and the response for that we are getting as hex is 0000, name is black, and the RGB value is 0,0,0. So that's definitely working perfectly fine. But I want to do a few things that I don't want to make so many API calls to my server. I want to make only one API call. So the people who have been following my channel, they know that there is a concept of debounce and throttle. So if you're new over here, you can click on the suggestion box, go and watch the debounce and throttle video to understand what we are going to do next. Okay, so we will be debouncing these calls so that we only make the call that is required by the user instead of making so many API calls. And also so far our API call is working fine, but we have not really used the response of this particular API call to do anything onto our screen. Okay, so now one more thing, if you go to the Redux right now, so you can see all my actions are getting dispatched over here, right? NTC fetch color by hex. And once we got the response, you can see the middleware has triggered NTC update color details, and you can see what happened when that happened, right? So when the fetch color by hex was going, we could see that the requesting is turned to true, right? So this logic we have written in our reducers. So if you remember, we have done this over here. So whenever you make a call for RGB or hex, we are doing requesting true, and whenever we got the response, we are doing this, and you can see once the response is back, the color details are updated, right? So everything related to store is working perfectly fine. It's just that for user experience, I don't want to make so many API calls, and plus we are yet to complete our application. So let's do that quickly. Let's go back to our name the color component. So now I want to use the debounce utility, right? So I've already created the utility. The people who have been following, you know already how to write a debounce logic. So we'll just import the debounce function, right? Import from at codealong /utilities. Okay, and from here we're gonna use our debounce. Okay, so let's update our handlers, the event handlers. So use callback is basically going to receive a function. So let's just remove this entire part, and the callback for this is going to be provided by my debounce function now. So we'll write debounce over here. Now debounce function expects a function and a delay attribute, right? So the function is going to be the same callback that we had earlier, and the delay is going to be 300 milliseconds. So this is what I want in my debounce. Now this is the same thing I want to update over here as well. We'll move the entire function inside my debounce, and we'll set the delay of 300 milliseconds again. So now that this is ready, now debounce is gonna make sure that we are not triggering so many dispatch calls. We'll trigger only one, that too after a 300 milliseconds delay. So when the user has not typed anything for 300 milliseconds, that's when we are going to dispatch the API call. All right, so heading back to our browser, let's type the same thing over here, 000000, and you can see after 300 milliseconds we immediately made an API call, and we are now not dispatching so many actions. We are only dispatching only one action to actually fetch the API, to actually fetch the details from the API. So this problem has been fixed. Again, the debounce is very interesting and important concept, and it is quite frequently used in the real-time applications as well. So if you are new over here and you don't know anything about that, just click on the suggestion box, watch the video. All right, so the debounce is fixed. Now we need to start consuming the data that is there here and update our application to show the actual information, right? So now we are going to use a hook called useSelector. So you can clearly see over here that the store is ready. Now once the store has the data updated, so the store has the data updated, now it can be read by the presentation layer. To read that data on the presentation layer, we are going to use the hook called useSelector. Okay, so useSelector. Okay, and useSelector function will receive a callback again. So let's do that. Const, I don't know what will be the response of this yet, so let's do useSelector, and this is going to receive state, right? So before doing anything, let's just do console.log of state and see whether we are able to receive the state inside my component or not. So let's head on to this thing, and you can see that I'm able to access the state over here, and whenever I update, you can see that the state is also updated. So whenever the state is updated, React is re-rendering the component, and when it is re-rendering the component, I am receiving the updated state. Okay, so now we want to access this object and basically get the color details out of it. So let's just do NTC over here, right? So we got console.log of NTC. Now NTC, now if we do NTC, you can see now my application is actually referring to the store, and all we want from here is the color details, right? So we are just gonna return NTC dot color details. Okay, now once I have the color details, what do we want from there? We have hex, we have name, and we have RGB, right? So now that we have everything over here, we will update our placeholder to show the name here. Okay, that's the first thing. And we would also have check on whether the name is present or not. So let's just change this to this name and hex and RGB. So when everything is there, that's when I want to render this thing. Okay, let's just remove hex. I don't really need this. So name and RGB is the only thing that I want. Of course, there is a error over there, so we'll introduce fragment and update this to have a fragment over here. All right, so we have the name ready, but the background is still not there. So let's just render and see if everything is working fine or not. So right now there is nothing onto the screen. Now, oops. Now let's make the API call 000000, and you can see the name is getting updated, but the color is still not there. So for that, I'm just gonna use style and set the background to RGB, and we already have the RGB code with us, so we will just use that RGB code. That is RGB. Okay, so this is fine. I think the spelling is wrong, so I've updated the background spelling. So only a name and RGB is something which I'm accessing inside this, so I do not want to check for hex at all. So hex is unused, so let's just get rid of it. I don't really need it. And now when I make a call for 000000, you can see that there is black coming up. So I've been giving too much time between the 00 and all, so let's just increase this to 500 so that we don't make that captured. So now 000000, and you can see the color is getting updated. Now we'll go FFFFF0, and you can see the color is getting updated. Okay, so my application is working fine for the hex code. Now let's just quickly test out a few other colors as well. So you remember this thing where in my DB I already have a lot of colors. So let's just take this limed ash, go here, let me close this and just update this here, and you can see the color is getting updated. Let me zoom this out. Okay, so we have the lime dash coming out here. Now let's try RGB value as well. So this is something called rolling stone. So this is what my application should see. So let me remove this and we will make this call, and you can see the RGB code is also working fine. All right, so this basically completes my application. So right now this particular DB has around 1500 colors. So for all these colors, this application will work perfectly fine. All right, so that completes my simple application called Name the Color using React, Redux and Redux Sagas. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. You can also reach me on Instagram. I reply to the DMs over there, and let me know if you like this video, and I hope you learned a lot from this about how to integrate Redux into your application, plus the kind of code structure that I follow. Okay, so if you enjoyed this series and learned something out of it, let me know by hitting the like button, and share this video with as many people as you can, and hit the subscribe button to let me know that you like my content, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified about my videos whenever I upload them. So see you in the next one. Bye.